I like the Smart 4.2, except when I hate it, like every time it shifts. But there are no shifts when there is no gearbox. Aha! Let's drive the 2011 Smart Electric Drive and check the tech. The Electric Smart is the same as the gas engine one with 5 changes. Electric motor replacing the 3-cylinder gas engine. Janky transmission removed entirely. A lithium-ion battery pack from Tesla lives under the seats. A charger and port are added, and electric power steering is installed. Okay, just like in a gas engine 4.2, all the business is in the rear. Under here is your now electric motor. Same apparatus, though, in terms of the arrangement on the gas engine car. It's all sitting side saddle, driving the rear wheels only. Now, in this case, what we've got here is a 30 kilowatt electric motor to a 1-speed reduction gear. So that god-awful transmission in the gas engine car is gone. That's the best news. Now, the bad news. 30 kilowatts is 41 horsepower. Even for a guy this size, that's not a whole lot. You're going to get 0 to 60 kilometers per hour in 6.5 seconds. That's 0 to 37 miles per hour. Top speed on this guy's limited to 60 all out. And your energy efficiency is 87 mpge. That's that new number that gives you the equivalency of electricity to the energy found in a gallon of gas. Kind of a funny number, but it's the best thing we've got to go apples to apples these days. Now, one of the issues I have with this car is it makes a lot of strange noises. You'd say electric cars are silent, but maybe because this one's just so short-coupled, or it's the stuff they're using, that it makes all kinds of weird whining, grinding, howling sounds. I wasn't really crazy about that. Okay, so let's go for a drive in this little guy. Simple situation, turn the key. It's still in the sob position down here. And again, you've got a PRND shifter, but there are no gears. It's either engaged or it's not. Even reverse has no special gear. It just flips the polarity of the engine and runs it in reverse. Now, the throttle's a little insensitive. It kind of starts off with kind of nothing for the first bit of travel, and then it kicks in. Unlike a lot of electric cars, you don't have this massive, lovely torque that we like so much. It just isn't that powerful. That's kind of a little motor back there. Now, once you get underway, and once you get past that initial sort of numb tip-in on the accelerator, I hate to say this because all the smart haters will seize on it, but it really drives like a golf cart. It has that same sort of porpoising thing because it's got a short wheelbase. You hear that electric motor pronouncedly, just like on a golf cart. It's about the size of a golf cart. All it needs is a little Surrey top and a little bit of that dingle ball fringe, and it's a golf cart. Now, I'm on a grade now, going up a, I don't know, what is this, 7, 8, 9% grade, just a guess. The car's having a hard time with this. I'm floored, and there's an extra click in the gas pedal, or the accelerator, I should say, that pours on extra oomph. It goes from a standard drive of 20 kilowatts to a little extra click right there when you tap into all 30 kilowatts, all 41 massive horsepower. It's just enough to get up hills or to do passing maneuvers, but it's never as much as you'd like. Now, just like the gas engine Smart 4.2, I just think it's a fun car to drive. It's sensible packaging, not as your only car for most people, but as that second sort of get around, commuter ride. I still like this vehicle, but it's underwhelming on the electric side. Now, those 2 pods on top of the dash are going to be of key interest every time you drive this car. The one on the right is how much power you're using when that needle swings to the left. That's power delivery. And how much regen you're capturing when you're on the brakes or coasting. That's when it swings down all the way down to 10. So this car can regen to a maximum strength of 10 kilowatts, but can power itself to 30. Obviously, regen is not equal to its ability to power itself. That would be almost a perpetual motion machine. The one on the left is your battery capacity. It's the nearest thing you have to a range gauge. This car doesn't tell you how much range you have left. On a long grade on a freeway, which this car just barely handles, you can watch that needle on the left drop. It's a little unnerving. Electric power steering in the Smart Electric, because obviously there's nowhere to power a hydraulic unit. It's always on, unlike some cars. Like the BMW 7 Hybrid, the electric power steering dies when the engine shuts off at a stop sign, which was a weird kind of a glitchy thing for them. This car always has electric steering on, and it's an exceptionally tight turner, just like all Smart 4.2s. The cabin tech's nothing special. We've talked about that before. If you want to get a good read on that, go see our video on the standard gas-powered Smart 4.2. Okay, charging a smart electric's pretty routine. Like most cars, you've got what people call a charger. It's not. It's a charge adapter and cable. The charger is in the car. It's kind of a complicated apparatus. Here's our charge door here. You recognize the traditional SAE charging port. This handle is also common to all the charging cars today, from a Tesla to a Volt to a Leaf to this guy. Now, when you get this plugged in, it's going to take 12 hours to fully charge it. 12 hours or more on 110. And by the way, I found out the hard way, it will not charge on a non-grounded 110 outlet. So there goes several million pre-1962 homes, unless you've had all your wiring upgraded. What you really want to do is bring a level 2 charger, a 240 outlet, out near the car, because you can't use extension cords with this, and that's going to get you a much better charge time. From 20% to 80% in 3.5 hours is how they communicate it. Smart has a full tutorial on getting one of those level 2 chargers installed at your place. Honestly, it makes it look like a real drag. Once you do, you'll find the charge cost varies widely by your utility, rate plan, and time of day you charge. But here in San Francisco, for example, at best rate, it would cost about $1 for a full charge that should take you 60 miles. 60 slow miles. Running the numbers doesn't really work right now. EPA estimates have you saving $460 in energy per 10,000-mile year compared with a gas 4.2. But you'll spend an additional $4,400 on the lease for a net disadvantage of almost $4,000. Even if gas prices keep soaring, let's say you're at least a couple grand in the hole. That's why Smart is quick to mention the full production version of this car that arrives in 2012 will be a lot cheaper. Okay, let's price this guy. Sit down. $45,600. That's right, $45,600 is the base price. About 3 times the cost of a gas-powered Smart 4.2. The good news is you won't pay that because you can't buy it. You can only lease it. $600 a month for the hardtop, $650 I think it is for the cabriolet. Now it's a lease, as I mentioned, which means you probably won't qualify for most, if any, of the various rebates and credits out there that are typically given for purchases, as I understand it. It's an odd little bird, but the leasing does take some of the shock out of the price, and if you really want an electric car, you've only got a few choices. This is one of them.